Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
It's the Smucker's Uncrustables podcast with your host, Uncrustables. Okay, today's guest is rough around the edges. Please welcome Crust.
Thanks for having me.
Today's topic, he's round with soft, pillowy bread.
Hey.
Filled with delicious PB&J.
Are you talking about yourself?
And you can take him anywhere.
Why'd you invite?
And we are out of time.
Are you really cutting me off?
Uncrustables are the best part of the sandwich. Sorry, Crust.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track-downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. The NBA playoffs are here, and Michelob Ultra is getting you closer to the game than ever with courtside seats and more. Enter now at MichelobUltra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra Superior Access Courtside 2024 to 2025 sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Ends on July 1st, 2025. Multiple entry periods. Visit MichelobUltra.com/superior access/courtside for free entry deadlines, and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
This episode is brought to you by PetSmart. Stop by for Yappy Hour with your pet at PetSmart. Save $5 on walk-in grooming services like nail trims, ear cleaning, brushing, and more. No appointment needed every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. And while you're there, Yappy Hour includes exclusive in-store deals like 25% off pet toys. Visit services.petsmart.com/grooming to learn more.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Oakley, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. And I'm excited to talk about the Lions, but I just don't know what to think, because just the other day, it popped up on the Twitterverse, the X Machine, all over the radio, that Frank Ragnow retired from our Detroit Lions. Kind of out of nowhere. He's a stud player. We knew he had injuries, but this kind of came out of nowhere. So this is going to be the Frank Ragnow show. We're going to talk about what? Why? How? Who? Now what? I mean, there's so much to get into. So we'll do that. We got some fun promotions you got to stay tuned for. Hear about what's coming up on the show. There's probably going to be other gimmickatry and boola, because I got the one and only at Chops in the D here with me, Chop, to talk all about it. Chops, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, man. Okri, well, first of all, when you know that when the old at Chops in the D is on the show, there's going to be plenty of boola to talk about. But yeah, man, this is just like a bit of a, I don't want to say somber show, but it's so funny because the first thing that popped in my head is like, did Logan and I jinx Frank Ragnow? Like, did we speak something into existence talking about cap hits and all this other stuff a couple of weeks ago? Like, it just came out. I mean, there's so much to get into with this, like so many angles to talk about. We're going to dive into it. We shouldn't mess around, but man, just a you know, a tip of the cap and a thank you to Mr. Ragnasty, Frank Ragnow, man, hanging him up after, I think, 10 seasons.
Chops, we don't have time to mess around. My first question, what'd you think when you saw it? How'd you feel? I need to know. You know, you kind of hit on it, but we need the deep dive.
Oh, man. Like, honestly, like, gut punch is the first thing that came to my head. Like, I know we talked about, I mean, there's just so many angles, right? Like, first of all, just, uh, you know, number one center in the league, in my opinion. I think saw some ridiculous stat the other day, like, you know, over 5,000 snaps and like 6 sacks allowed. So, I mean, those kind of guys don't just like, you know, you don't just draft them in this, you know, 6th round. So, or maybe you do, I don't know. But yeah, this is definitely a bit of a ding. I mean, it sounds like this is something he's been contemplating. You know, I immediately jumped to, is it something he'd been talking about with the team? Were they blindsided by it? You know, there's a lot to dive into with that. But I mean, look, you know, this is a tough day for the Lions and their Super Bowl aspirations when you lose the number one center in the league, in my humble opinion, in Frank Ragnow.
So, a very standard take. My thoughts were, first inclination was, it was so kind of out of nowhere that I just wanted to see, is this real? So as I saw 2, 3, 4, 5 things about it in a row, I'm kind of like, okay, this is real. I retweeted it out. There wasn't a sense of sadness, and this is nothing against Frank Ragnow. This isn't to him as a player. Obviously, he's the heartbeat of the offensive line in the middle. I guess, like, for me, it was just sort of, not that I expected it, but that I just knew he was hurting so bad the last couple. He still kind of played for the most part, and he was so good that you never recognized him, which is what you want from an interior offensive lineman or a center especially. But I took it more as a congrats to Frank for being a warrior, fighting hard, playing great, changing the franchise more so than boo-hoo, our season's over, there goes our Super Bowl thoughts, like, what are we going to do? You know, TBD, if you ask me. Well, none of that, really. It was just more of a, all right, like, and again, not in a positive sense, but just in a, yes, I was surprised, but no, I wasn't, like, everything's over, how is this going to hurt? Now, since then, I've sort of thought about the contract ramifications, how they're going to replace him, who's going to be in there, like how long is it going to take that guy to get a rapport with ya boy Jared Goff, or with our offensive coordinator who's also new, and all the other new pieces we have. But I don't know, there's a weird calmness over me, and as you guys saw, you and all the loyal diehard Detroit Koolaid drinkers saw, my reply came pretty quick. Thank you, Frank. You're a warrior. We'll fight for you. We'll keep this thing rolling just like you got us going, even though there were some rocky years, those first few. He really was the heartbeat these last couple. So, not saying I was good with it, but it didn't hit me as hard as some of the other people I'm hearing, or people in general. What do you think of that take? A lot more unique than yours.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I can respect the take on it. Like, you know, again, I think with Graham kind of already in the wings, the fact that the Lions kind of drafted 2 interior offensive linemen makes me think maybe they knew this was coming. Maybe they kind of had an inclination that Frank was considering this. I mean, he said he'd been weighing, you know, his Instagram post, I think, said he'd been weighing this decision. It'd be like, you know, he almost like he was thinking about it even like last year and beyond. Like, I understand he's had a lot of different injuries. He's battled through them. You see the amount of pain that he's in on the field. You know, the center position is no joke, man. You're getting banged around a lot. And you're protecting the franchise when you're playing that center position too. And you got to have good rapport with them. So, I mean, I can understand your take. It wasn't exactly my gut reaction, just because I think that he is, I don't want to say invaluable, but like you said, he's just one of those guys that he just did his job and he doesn't really get noticed. And he doesn't get noticed because he did his job so damn well. So, you know, big shoes to fill.
I'm curious to see how they will fill it. You threw Graham out there. Like, to me, and you already know this about me, but I'm much more apt in this scenario to either be aggressive and get somebody or make a move for a guy that's either similar or what they view as an upgrade, whether it be age, contract, something like that. Or we were so hyped about, wow, they kind of retooled this offensive line on the fly. Like, wow, what a smart move. Now it's just accelerated a little bit, but the sooner you get guys in there like Tate Rat, or if you're going to play Frazier, cross-train him on the inside, I think the better for the franchise. Graham Glasgow, to me, has been a good player, a versatile piece, but much more of a guy that I think is on either the way out or a depth or a veteran mind more so than his play on the field. I don't know about that contract. You know how I felt when they signed him. So if it was me and I couldn't get like a free agent replacement, like I'd be much more apt to roll with the young, hungry Lions, pun intended, there in the middle, and just see if we can get similar play in time, not from day one, but also like there's not the upside from the play necessarily, but instead of 11 million, it's like 1 or 2 for a guy like Tate Rat, on that rookie deal. You have a guy that's played at a high level in college, smart, wants it, so it might be a guy that can do it. I don't know. Let's get into some of the replacements and what if or how we're going to move forward, I guess, maybe towards the back half of this show, because I'm getting a little off track. What I wanted to ask you, too, on my follow-up was, do you remember what you thought when they drafted Frank Ragnow, when they turned in that card, when you heard that name for the first time? The Lions select Frank Ragnow, center, Arkansas.
Oof. Yeah, it's funny because I just pulled up the history, and man, it was only 7 years ago. It seems like it seems like he was a turning point like so long ago, but really it was only 2018. So for that, to be taken in that first round, pick number 20 in that 2018 draft, I think at the time, again, I get my years mixed up when we start going back with player personnel kind of stuff. I mean, they had Decker on the line there already at left tackle. I think at the time center was a pretty big position of need. So, but you also, was that former regimes? Was he?
At the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, get deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Now's the best time to get that Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's Best Warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of limited complimentary maintenance. Don't think you can get away with all that? Think again. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. It's a great day for a new Hyundai.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by GMC. GMC certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Let us do the work. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit gmc.com/service to learn more.
Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes.
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree?
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet?
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back. Use as directed.
Their first pick, or was it the year before that with Jared Davis in their first round? I can't remember.
Taylor Decker's their first selection. But let me get a couple things in.
16.
Couple things in before you forget, because you've been known to drone on for minutes and minutes without letting the host of the show do my thing. But I just want to say 2018, you said 10 years. I knew it hadn't been that long, and here's the thing. That is a long time, though, because that's the year the Detroit Koolaid Cast started. I swear, one of the first shows was the draft review when they selected Frank Ragnow, and my feedback then I think was something like this:
Who is this Rudy Poo?
I felt like I was a draft savant back then with my 3 magnets up on the wall or whatever I was trying to do at that point, but this was not a guy I had pegged. Plenty of other people. I'm sure I sound ridiculous, but I think we didn't really know him, but we did the old, well, it's an interior offensive lineman. You can't really go wrong there. We want to be good in the trenches, which sure enough, we're good in the trenches years later, and it ends up totally changing around our fortunes and possibly winning us one or multiple Super Bowls. But I definitely had things. So that's how long the Koolaid Cast has been going, first and foremost. I was not a pound the table, we need Frank Ragnow guy, but I feel like I came around pretty quick that you could tell this guy was no nonsense and going to be a big nasty beast. What was the other thing I wanted to fight you in? Oh yeah, my favorite thing of the choppy chop recollections is always either you claiming where they were at on the Chops board, which I've never seen and don't think exists, or the this is how I remember it takes that you give, and every one out of 50 that are somewhat right, you tout to me, you put on the Twitterverse, you say I told you so, hashtag with Choppy. I mean, it's just hilarious. So that I had to get those things in before I forgot. So you can continue now.
Well, the funny thing is, if you look at 2016, those first, talk about building in the trenches.
Go ahead.
You had Decker, and then of course, shockingly funny enough, Graham Glasgow drafted in the 3rd round as a center, right. Which is kind of funny too. So you had just taken a center 2 years earlier. So, I don't know. It's again, I'm not going to say, well, this guy was, I was super heavy on this. I think at that time we were probably hounding for wide receivers, but we had just drafted Kenny Golladay. But I think back then those were the days where we were hammering on weapons and not necessarily trenches. But we also, I think, didn't, we kind of knew that we didn't know that we knew that, the regime from previous didn't know what they were doing. So
see, I don't think
I don't know, man. Like I said,
those first 2 drafts, they did know. They had a couple nice picks. They were going for big bodies. We were all about it. We were calling, Bob Quinn a genius, and the rocket scientist coming in here and do his thing. So everybody was on board. All the people, even like me, that now want to make fun of it or beat people up. Everybody was feeling it in the beginning, and when it went south, everybody turned, you know what I mean? But Frank Ragnow was very good right away, and was that, he was like a Brad Holmes pick, where we're sitting there, and there were all these people we wanted, he should have got this, should have done this, is Frank Ragnow, we're oh, okay, wasn't he a 2nd round, or maybe in the 3rd round? I bet if you go back, you'd see those type of reviews, and it was no, man, they knew better than us. This guy was a... I don't think he's cutting it so short. He's a Hall of Fame type player in Detroit, a legendary player in Detroit. But when you only play 7 seasons and you're it's hard position. It's I feel like centers and sometimes tackles are the guys that play longer, more so maybe even in the middle, because you got to make all the calls and stuff, and you get some people head up on you, but you also get a lot of double team blocks or things like that. So I think it's not so much the position, it's that he had the toe and he had all these other nagging injuries, and that's what cut him loose. But it's a bummer because make a great pick like that at 27 seasons, I guess, is a decent amount of time in the NFL. But like, if you get a real stud center, you would want to have those double-digit years, or 12 in one uniform and head right to Canton type of career. And like, by him calling it now, that's not what it's going to be. So that's disappointing, I guess. But definitely lived up as a rookie and then got that payday where we don't have to get into all the dollars that make sense right now. But he made no money, balled out, then got paid and was the highest paid center and was very happy to sign that contract, played really well under that new deal for $10+ million. And unfortunately, isn't going to see the end of it, both for him and the team, because I think the team, loved that deal. And I wonder if there are any discussions on upping him or any of that, or if it's just like, nope, my body's broken down, I can't do this, I'm done.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I know that was the rumor coming out of, OTAs. Whoa, where's Frank Ragnow? Oh, I heard he's pissed off about his contract. There's a dispute going on. And then, of course, because there's not a whole lot of stuff to talk about, that kind of got a little spin on the Twitterverse there. But I mean, to me, based on, now what we've heard him come out and say, we've heard what others have said, I think he really was just, he may have been contemplating retirement since like last year with with all these injuries. So, yeah, I mean, I know, like I said, we'll get into on the second half of the show, we'll talk about replacements. I mean, you want to get into the dollars that make some sense or don't make some sense or hurt us or help us.
I think we'll save that for the back half. I want to also touch on, we need to kind of summarize his time in Detroit from a playing perspective. So I'm sure you got the stats in front of you, but I know he made a bunch of Pro Bowls. He was assumed to be the best center in all of football for probably at least 3 to 5 seasons off the top of my head. He got paid as such, as I said. He helped us ultimately win a couple divisions, get to the playoffs, and as you noted, and as I said first, which happens on this show, is that you kind of repeat me, he was so damn good that we took him for granted, and then we were just like, yeah, I guess Frank had a good game, when really he's in there making the protections, moving bodies, bullying people, burying people down the field, and every blue moon you'd see it on Twitter, drop on X, where it was like he's down the field putting somebody in the ground or hitting the block, just moving his guy all the way to the left, running backs running clean through the right. So I do think his time in Detroit, he was very respected, loved, taken for granted a bit though, like team-friendly contract after the first year or so. And gosh, I just wish we could have got another year or two, especially when we're on the cusp, but we can't. And I'm somewhat leaving it open for what if we make a crazy run this year, he heals up all year, he gets that itch and just wants to come back for like 4 or 5 games, end of the year in playoffs, and help us get that trip down Woodward and that trophy we've been looking for. Like, could that happen? I'm not writing it off. Just saying.
Man. I the funny thing is, like, I feel like, of course, no one knows Frank's body like Frank, but I almost feel like he got us, like, he was with us when it was really bad, and then he got us so close, and to not have that sweet tasting Super Bowl, that trophy lifting of that parade, like, that's got to eat at him a bit. Like, I don't know. I know he's more of a chill guy, a outdoorsy dude, loves to fish, loves to hunt. He'll probably disappear into the sunset. But yeah, I gotta think that if they win the Super Bowl this year, or they're really rocking and rolling, like, is he gonna have some regrets? Like, man, I could have been a part of that. Because again, he's a cornerstone. You look at this line, and we talked about it for years, like, just lining up for years and years. Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, and and now these new guys in the middle. But man, I don't know. I think it would be pretty sweet if he is able to heal up and say, hey, you know what? I think maybe I do want to see this through. I would be shocked but I would be all for it because you don't just forget how to play center because you take a few extra months off. Because the dude, again, 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, like, they don't just grow on trees.
Let me ask this.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Home means something different to everyone. But with Rocket Mortgage, home can mean even more. It can mean a college education, taming your high-interest debt, even a renovation. We've made it easier than ever to use your home equity. That home you worked so hard for, now it can work hard for you. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Learning through play starts with Lego Duplo. With Lego Duplo, toddlers can develop real-life skills while having fun with colorful bricks made just for them. Large, easy to grip, and safe to explore. When children express themselves with Lego Duplo, they build patience, problem-solving, and empathy. See your child learn perseverance and self-expression with everything they imagine and create. Visit lego.com/preschool to learn more.
Grandpa's here!
Hank's always helping out. Grandpa style. Now he's treating his prostate cancer with help from Xtandi enzalutamide. Xtandi 40 milligram tablets treats men with prostate cancer that has spread to other parts of the body and responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat starts swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. Talk to your doctor and visit Xtandi.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
To end this first segment, we'll take a break, get our great sponsors in, pub up what's coming up. Might talk about a side topic if we can do it within a couple minutes and you don't get all heated. I want to ask you this, though. Like, I'm curious. So he battled through last year. These guys always say, warrior fighting through. Man, he's the toughest guy ever. Played with a broken throat. All that craziness. I just don't understand what happened between the end of the year, where, of course, you're disappointed that we didn't get there and we got bounced in our first game, blah, blah, blah. But what happened between that and resting for 4 or 5 months that it got so bad that you have to hang it up? And that's not me questioning him. That's me really honestly asking and wondering, like, you're off your feet. You could do your hunting. You could do all your stuff. Like, it's either got to be the toe is that bad, or like maybe, like you said, he just kind of was thinking about it so much that his mental got over and he was just like, I'm done mentally and physically. I always feel like if you're going to hang him up, it's either right after or it's after like a really bad extra injury that it's like one more and this is it. And I don't feel like that happened, even though I don't know his whole medical history, HIPAA laws and other things. And I don't want Frank to hear this and think I'm calling out his toughness. I'm definitely not. But I just want to know what happened between now and then, that this decision, if it wasn't contractual and it wasn't something super nagging, it's it feels like you should be a little bit healed at this point, almost like excited rather than like, peace, I'm out. Like that's what surprised me the most, to be honest. And that's why I'm leaving it open for a comeback, because it feels like he's not like, didn't tear his ACL heading into this offseason where it's like, man, I got the toe, I had all this other stuff, now I got to rehab an ACL. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore. It feels like time away, plus like the team rolling could make something else happen, but I mean, that's TBD if you ask me, but we'll see. I kind of hope he plays again, but he's probably a guy too where most people are like, nope, when he says he's done, he's done. Well, I heard a lot of wrestlers say that. I've heard a lot of football players, and I feel like this is a guy that could give us some snaps if needed, but the situation, everything would have to be perfect down the line. So we'll see. Do you got a quick take about maybe why, after 5 months of resting, sitting on your couch, chilling out, is it just one of those like where everybody says, my family's the most important, even though like for years and years you've worked your tail off and barely been with your family and been hurt, that now it would be number one? I mean, it feels like you said, when we're on the cusp, keep going for a couple years, then once we're on the down, peace out, rather than right now. I mean, that's a very long way of me asking, like, why now? And don't you think he would have been kind of more motivated rather than like, my body's dead, I'm done, which is what he said, so you got to believe it.
Yeah, that was a long way of asking me why I think why now. I think it's probably just got to be the combination of all those things. I mean, you don't see your family for 7 years, you sacrifice your body. Again, maybe there was contract dispute in the background that we just aren't aware of, where it was like, hey man, you guys, I'm the best center in the league. You can't afford to pay me that way. I got this crazy broken throat thing going on. I got a bad foot. I haven't been around my family for 7 years. Like, my body's breaking down. I'm a 315-pound beast of a man. Like, I don't want to be, it had to just be all of it. So, yeah. And who knows, something may come out later where you find out he's got some kind of family thing going on, and it's just way more important than football. You just don't know. Right. But again, he doesn't strike me as the type where it'd be like, well, you won't pay me, so I'm going to fake retire. And then, maybe later when you really need me, you'll pay me something or whatever. Like, he doesn't strike me as that type of guy. Like, he literally just strikes me as the type of guy who's going to go back to his hometown and just, sail off into the sunset, fish, hunt, have fun, enjoy his kids, and go from there. But, it's got to be a combo of all those things.
I rarely say this to you or think it, but that's a very good take by you. That's I did this long diatribe, and then you summed it up of what I think's true, which is like all those factors happened. He's not obviously holding him up. That's not what I was indicating, but also, yeah. Hey, the contract, my family, my injuries, we haven't got it done over this amount of time. I want to be able to walk later. I want to feel good. I like my grizzly outdoors better. I mean, I think it's all those coming together as one, and like, he's a common sense human being with intelligence who is just like, I want a good life for the next 30 plus years, God forbid, and I got all the money in the world that he needs or that anybody would need. So I'm with you on that. I think it's all the factors coming into one, and I do think he's a good enough dude, though, I guess is why I was leaving the door open, where if like the team really needs him, he's feeling better, they can give him a nice deal, that he may consider it. So I'll leave it at that here as we head out for the break. But everybody, you're going to want to stay tuned, because we got a big announcement. I got another interesting topic that I want to hit Choppy Chop with, and then we're going to finish out with a few more Ragnow things, more so of let's look at that contract. What are we saving? How can we use that money? What now? Who's going to play? And how are we going to win the damn Super Bowl in 2025, like we've been saying, without Frank Ragnasty, but with all our other ball players, and maybe a couple new additions, and maybe some young lads in the middle of that offensive line. Everybody, we'll be right back. All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform, where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You could put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now. Kool-Aid drinkers, we're back. Thank you so much for listening to the show. What do I normally say? Sharing the show, checking out the show, repping the show, tweeting the show, calling the show. What's that number again? 989-272-3484. I think that's it. We haven't pubbed it up enough and people forgot to... Some people still text with me on there and shoot me crazy stuff, but it feels like every time we mention it, we start getting calls, texts, all types of craziness. So that's the Kool-Aid hotline if you want to call. If you have a take or a call that makes us laugh, we'll put it on. If you have an actual good take that's entertaining, we'll put you on. If you say something like this, you'll be legendary on the show.
I'm a run.
That was on a live call from Stash and the ATL, and we've got so many others, but... yeah, appreciate everybody. So I want to do this real quick. You know, it's about that time of year, like June, before we get to the July holidays and stuff. I don't want to call it the dead period because there's always stuff to talk about when it comes to those lines. But, you know, we are serving up that delicious Honolulu blue flavored Kool-Aid. Say it 3 times fast, 3 times a week, to be honest. 2 Kool-Aid packets and a flagship show. So I think it's about that time to have a little... series, a little thing that the people always seem to enjoy.
And the people consist of the millions.
Do you know what this is, Chops, or do you need me to do a few more drops that might make it a little more clear?
I mean, look, I think there's 2 drops still left that you can play, and that'll give it all away. There's the laugh, and actually there's the second one is also a laugh, one by a famous guy, one by someone who's not quite so famous but probably did the laugh a little better. You got those queued up? You want to hit them and see if the people can guess what we're talking about here?
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength, Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
This episode is brought to you by Hulu, presenting Paradise. Paradise is Hulu's critically acclaimed addictive drama series, starring Sterling K. Brown, Julianne Nicholson, and James Marsden. The Daily Beast calls Paradise your next TV obsession, and the New York Times says it's exhilarating in all the right ways. Paradise is for your Emmy consideration in all categories, including Outstanding Drama Series. For more information, visit fyc.hulu.com.
It's time to rewrite the vacation rules. With Royal Caribbean, your family can look forward to just about anything. Break the thrill barrier, roaring down the tallest water slide in North America. Jump into breathtaking jungles and jaw-dropping coves. Vibe off the charts on our private island Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And end the day knowing things are just getting started. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
I'm Cindy Lauper with fellow Cosentix advocate, Chef Michelle Bernstein.
We'll share our experiences with plaque psoriasis, with psoriatic arthritis, and Dr. Panika will talk about the possible connection.
Cosentix secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur.
Learn more at 1-844-COSENTIX or Cosentix.com/Cindy.
I think they can guess. I mean, when we drop this. Because, Chops, it's the return of dollars. Make sense. SENSE. We're going position by position, 2 groups a week until we work our way through the rosters. Next week, I think I looked ahead at the calendar. People know that you only show up every few weeks, or, sometimes when you can, you're coaching a million hockey teams, you got a wonderful family, you're a big executive of some sort, so it's like, we know you're only here on a limited basis, but I think you're here next week, then you're off a couple, they might be back, then you're off a couple, and a couple more, you know what I mean? So I think next week, since you're here, I'll give you one that I think you will feel is delicious, which is interior offensive line and interior defensive line. We're talking a lot about Frank this week. I think we need to get into who do we have in these positions for bodies. The trenches are where you win football games, so we'll figure all that out from a dollars make sense perspective, as well as go over to the interior defensive line, which means you had a big time issue with on draft day when we continued to draft interior defensive 330 pounders. We already got 9 on the roster, whatever it was. So we'll break down what those guys make, how they impact the team, will they be working at the bowling alley after training camp, all that type of stuff, by bringing up contracts, talking about out clauses, signing bonuses, all the facts and figures that the people need to know. It's back, baby.
Oh, Okri, I hate that was all great, loved it, but I have to school you on the drops. That would have been a perfect segment to drop the choppy laugh of the $1 Million Man. You had the intro with the song and the lead up to it, and then you could have just dropped the choppy laugh there, and it would have just tied it up in a nice little bow. But I'll give you some grace there.
Chops, do you really think this would go better than this? I mean, did you really want me to play this? Followed by this?
What
is that the combo you think the people wanted?
What I need you to do is I need you to get the music in the background and replace the $1 Million Man laugh with the choppy laugh. Use some of that that oaky magic you got there and drop my laugh into the drop. So it's like you got the music, you got the ladies in the background singing, and then you got the chops laugh. It would have been perfect. But
where's my money?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Chops, I don't know where the money is gone for the show, because your big site fee that you charge me every week, you come on the show, you send me invoices, you tell me you need a raise. I mean, what the hell are you doing? I mean, you're driving me bonkers over here.
That drives me freaking bonkers.
I mean, seriously.
It's like, duh.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
What the hell are you doing?
All right, go ahead.
Oh my gosh! Do you even need a real co-host at this point? You got all the sound drops from the old regime. Nope. You might as well just roll with it here. I bet you could have a whole, Okri Grifka roll kickback with just all the drops that you got there. I like it.
Some classics from back in the day. We've been fitting the former co-host in more and more. I mean, he will always be a legend. There's no doubt about it. But those are some of the classics.
Big shoes to fill.
So, like, we're doing that. We're talking about those two positions. Then it will be, like, probably when you're away, I'll talk about your quarterback. We'll talk about the linebackers. Then we'll move over to, like, the corners, the wideouts. We'll get the safeties, the running back. You know what I mean? I like to pair them up that way. Kind of like, you know, the trenches, then, like, the quarterback of our offense, the quarterback of our defense. The people know how I do. I pair them up nice. We talk dollars. Makes sense. We get into the contracts. Going to be a good time. Can't wait. People love this series. Takes us about 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever it is. It's going to be fun. Obviously, we'll talk about the news and notes, any boola, rumor, innuendo as we get going, but that's going to be real fun.
Well, and I'm sure that you'll talk about quarterback while I'm off, because that's what you do, right? Like, you don't ever, you got to give the, we should play Hendon Hooker's take here pretty soon. So
definitely, I will breeze through that. But Chop, speaking of fun, I want to take about 2 minutes, 5 minutes, however long this takes us before we talk about Frank Ragnow, how he moved forward, maybe give the people some optimism on what to expect despite our disappointment for losing Frank in the middle there of our offensive line. I need to pub up the Detroit Koolaid Cast Fantasy Football Slow Draft that just started here Sunday, Monday, whatever. We're middle of the week when people are hearing this. Like, we're doing a straight up redraft. We got some of the loyal, diehard Detroit Kool-Aid drinkers in there. I mean, I love myself a slow draft. I don't care what platform it's on, when it is. This one we're doing on Sleeper. I'm having a ton of fun, except for the couple knuckleheads that I either had to kick out because they were like, oh, I don't know, I didn't get any of the update, I didn't know we were like, I had to get rid of those people. I got better people. We've got some great people across the board. Everybody's drafting. Like, before I take a few pot shots at your team, because, like, I'm very disappointed in you, buddy, like, I feel like it's been great for the last, this is like 3-4 years. Of course, I won it the first year. I think I finished, like, you know, right near the best in the second year. I've had a few downs.
Before I was in it.
It feels like a great league that's kind of galvanized the people, gives us a little fun thing for the pod, as well as for those that like fantasy football, plus people that just want to get a draft in June while nothing's really going on. So before I kill your team and before we talk about Ragnow, what do you got to say about the Koolaid Cast draft? Yes, you're finally doing it. I even had a couple people, is Chops actually in it this year? Did he bow out again because he's too busy? I was like, oh, unfortunately he's in. But fortunately he's in because he's got some terrible picks here, which I'm going to dissect in a moment. So what do you got to say for yourself, buddy?
Oh my gosh, you act like I haven't been in the league. This is year 3 since 3 or 4. I don't know. You had it in one format, then we switched to best ball, I think last year or 2 years ago. Better. So it's been you act like I just joined this year, man. I've been in this league longer than I've been doing the show. So
after like at least a year or two of saying, oh, I'm too important, Okri, for the people. I don't have time for the loyal people that listen to the pod. I got better things to do with my life. I was like, you can't make a pick from your phone. It takes 2 seconds. Remember that?
Yeah, well, you know, you want to talk about the loyal diehards. We start the draft on Monday, and all of a sudden, like, 5 dudes are getting booted out, replaced. This guy's in this team. I'm like, hey, that guy just drafted a player on auto draft, and now he's kicked out of the league. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, the commission was very clear. Like, are we ready to go? Like, everyone said thumbs up. We had, like, 12, 19, 20 people giving the thumbs up. Let's do this thing. The clock hits. I, like, look down. We're, like, 5 picks in, and, like, people are leaving. They're getting booted.
Don't bring this bull. But you already put this in the chat. You're like calling me out, where everyone's like acts like I'm the keeper of all these people. I literally make the league better by like telling people it's your pick, like removing the knuckleheads, removing people that are just sleeping at the wheel, and you're like, oh man, I can't believe this. Like I'm helping. So I knew this was gonna happen. We're gonna get off track. So if you're not gonna hype up, I'm just gonna ask you straight up. This is a 20-team league with 20 players per team. It's very hard to craft a full team. You got to be very knowledgeable. You got to dig for talent late in the draft. But Chops, I've coached you up for years in fantasy football. I thought you learned from my learning tree. I thought I had helped you. You took Bucky Irving at 117. I had to slap a poop emoji on that pick. I hate Bucky Irving. Oh, wow, he had a couple good games, some stats last year. Like, that's the best guy you thought was on the board. Then you come back and take a tight end. Then you come back and you show what a rookie would do in fantasy football. You start taking rookie running back because there's nobody left because you had to have Trey McBride. And then you double dip down on that and take Ted McMillan, the rookie wide receiver that I thought wasn't even going to go in round 1. You're taking him and with your first wide receiver pick. Like, what is happening here?
Listen.
We're shipping Father's Day gifts with a rapid-fire round of questions. Ready?
Yes. My gift. Can you pack it?
Yep.
Ship it.
Yes.
Guarantee it.
Of course.
Oh, send a set of golf clubs.
Oh, hole in one.
Protect electronics. Dog-proof it. Return it if they hate it.
Yes, no, and yeah.
Are you the UPS store?
Hey, we have a winner!
Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Visit a store today.
Oh, such a clutch pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom, too. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Save up to 50% with minimum purchase at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
First of all, there's so much to address there. I don't even have enough time. One, I was not calling out the commissioner of the league. I asked, what the hell is going on? I did not say anything about Oakrey. What are you doing here? I'm like, people, what is happening? Like, you made it, like I said on the first opening, you made it very clear. Is everybody ready? Give this a thumbs up. We've been doing it for a month. The first day of the draft hits. For 5 picks in, and like people who've already gotten a draft pick are like getting booted out of the league because they are no showing or auto drafting. So never once did I say, Oakrey, you're running a crap league here. What's going on? My take was, what is happening here? Because it was very clear we were starting on June 1st, and all these knuckleheads that you had to then do the commissioner thing and boot them out and take care of business had to be done. So there was
First of all, very quickly, I over-update people, which I know can be annoying, but I was trying to get everybody on board. A couple of the people that are loyal diehard fan, great guys, great people, yes, they let us down this year. I don't know, they're sleeping at the wheel, they're too busy with their families. I still love those people. I hope they listen to the pod, but I had to get you out because you were just not ready. You were not, you wouldn't answer messages, things like that. So I tried to do my best. And there's no over communication. Like, I'd rather over communicate than sit there and get triple the people that didn't know what was going on. But yes, we did have a handful. So quickly respond to the way I just tore down your team, and then we'll keep this moving.
Yeah, look, you can't bring up fantasy football, especially with the DKC Sleeper League. Look, it's best ball, baby. So I got my tiers all squared away, and you gotta go. Well, you're gonna knock my drafts. You got guys in the 4th round that haven't picked a running back yet. So, like, don't come at me about, oh, you took a rookie with this guy. Like, you got to have 2 running backs that are going to be starters. You got to have theirs. And I had an opportunity to take the second best tight end in the 2nd round. And also, don't get me started on how somehow Oakrey always picks in the top 3 and Choppy always somehow picks in the bottom 3.
See,
all I'm saying.
See, I hate to use your gimmicks against you, but this one's perfect. Don't give me that boo because I bet if you go back and look at the last 3 years, Oakrey's picking at 19. I'm picking in the middle. What I'm always doing,
last year, and you picked
crazy,
4 the year before that, Hoss. Nice try. Look it up.
I'm always picking right after or right before Luke Heavenin, my buddy.
Always pick after Luke.
Always
pick after Luke. Luke somehow gets in the top 2, and you're always in the top 4. And Choppy's always in the bottom 3. Look it up, bro.
Gosh, we're so off track with this, and I knew it was going to happen. I literally hit randomize 3 times, which everybody can see. This is public knowledge. This isn't some frozen envelope like the NBA does, or some thing that happens in Washington, D.C., or who knows what. Like, this is straight up random button 3 times, whatever it is. I would
just
actually
like the
love
NFL,
to be later.
and just like the NHL draft isn't rigged, right? Yep. Yep, just ping pong balls. Just ping pong balls. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, all the stuff you said is very humorous to me. I'm sure once your team is half decent, you'll come on here and talk about it for 20 minutes. It's like, I just expected you. There's so many better players than, like, unless Bucky Irving is absolutely incredible, that's where you went wrong. And then, like you said, once you know there's no RBs, and then you start, hoping RJ Harvey is a game changer, like, you're in trouble. So I had my game plan. If you pick it 2, you're not going to have much coming back. But I started my draft Saquon Barkley. Yes, I understand he could have a down year after such an incredible year, but I had to take BPA at 2. Came back. I was hoping I'd get some of my top RBs. Some were gone, some weren't. Kenneth Walker, he's got a lot of competition in Seattle, but he's obviously can put up some crazy numbers, and they got a better O-line with our guy, Gray Zabel, as well as the other draft picks they made. And then I come around, and Chops, you'll love this one. I come back around, and I get Demo. It's Demo, right? It's Demo.
Look, you got the opportunity to double down. You couldn't get the elite weapon, so you had to go with D-Money.
Which is funny. Like, I was actually like playing like chicken with Luke because he doesn't like to draft RBs. But I said I was proud of him because he got my boy Isaiah Pacheco, which was on my short list as well. But he made your mistake and with a tight end in round 2. But he does have 2 RBs as you do, so he'll be fishing for skill players. But hey, man, I like those 3 RBs. Give me a lot of flexibility. I'll be coming at skill positions, quarterbacks, digging for talent later. So we'll see how it shakes out. But mostly we wanted to say, other than Chops knew I was going to take a couple cheap shots / realistic criticisms about his draft philosophy and how he always touts what he do, and then it comes down to actually doing it, and you see this jabron or these couple jabrons that you selected. So it's going to be fun. Thank you to all the people that make it so fun. A lot of the people that are in there have been in there for years. They look forward to it. We every year have a little bit of turnover, so if you hear this and you're like, man, I want to show the Kool-Aid drinkers what's up. I want to win this thing. I want to draft better than Chop, which is not hard. You can do that next year. Hit me up. I'll put you on my short list. If you can't get in this league, I got Chops, Reality Sports Online. I've got my ESPN league. I've got PFF All 22. Should I keep going? No, we won't waste the time for the people. But I love fantasy football. This has been really fun. Who knows who will win? It's always a crapshoot. I think last year you said our guy Trevor Tyler won. We've got my buddy Adam in there. We got Santa. We got TS Wood 42. He's always all fired up. We got Stash in the ATL. Justin Hetch, if I'm pronouncing that right, he heard one of my pods talking about fantasy football. He's like, I want in some leagues. So we got him in this one, a couple others. You got King Nico, who's always talking noise. Coach Jones, shout out. Revolution, he's always in there. My buddy Luke over there in Indy, whooping up the Pacers, running all the sports over there. I'm still rooting for OKC, baby, with my Uncle E down there in Oklahoma City. I hope they get the championship this year. And we got Sam Adams, analyst. Who else? Any other diehards? JP's in there. Tyler. Got a couple Tylers. And then some new blood. Probably 3-4 new guys in there. So all good times.
I think we lost the great Natalie Sparbeck, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. She tried to compete. Then, one of those too important. She had to go report things, per the great Natalie Sparbeck. She puts out lots of content. Some of it sounds like a reporter. Other of it is just for the Instagram or the higher-ups of the communities. But sometimes she talks to the peasants out there, at times. But, yeah, she got in and then realized can't hang with the big dogs, so she bounced out. Even Lexi. I tried to get Lexi 117. She was in 1 year, couldn't hang, hasn't got back in, knows that, man, those guys are just too good. They just know their stuff too well. So, it is what it is. There's some people just can't hang with the fantasy elite, right, Choppy?
You said it, not me, Okri. I'm not upsetting either one of those two ladies. So good luck with that, bud.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm sure it'll be fine. I knew we were gonna go 2 minutes on that. Then we said we were gonna go 2 minutes. We knew we were gonna go about 5. It's probably been about 10 plus, but it is what it is. So let's end the show with this, man. I want to say for all the boo-hooing and what are we going to do, and I'm shocked, and shout out to Frank, and I hope it all goes well, and we'll be okay. Like, let's end the show with how it's going to be okay. So, Chops, I know you probably got the numbers there. Like, what are we saving? Because I had some people hit me up, Okri, how much are we saving with Frank leaving? Like, can we go get Trey Hendrickson? Like, what is it? How does it affect the cap? And I'm like, I threw out some numbers, but if you got the specifics, or I'll say what I think it is, and then how are we going to use it? Who's going to play center? How are we going to win the division, home playoff games, and a Super Bowl? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so I think originally he was supposed to be a cap hit of about, I think it was 13 million, 13.5 is what we said last week. That actually drops down to 4.8 on dead money against the cap this year. So he opens up a nice $9 million. Like we said before, I think last week we were sitting around 40 million. Now we're up to almost 49 million in cap space on our top 51 cap space. So, look, if the Lions want to take, 6-7 of that $9 million and go get a replacement, at center, they can do it. If they want to just roll with the young cats and like you said, that are making $1 million a year, they can do that. If they want to take that money and go get Trey Hendrickson, they can put that $9 million towards the $30 million that he's going to want. Like, they had tons of cap space for this year. And actually, I think it opens up another, if I'm looking at the numbers right, I think it opens up another 14 million for next year, which we needed desperately. So, the numbers, obviously, it doesn't hurt us. It actually helps us quite a bit. Yes, you've got the dead cap hit, but we got young cats to fill in.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Crazy part about Frank Ragnow just picking up and who even knew that he knew how to use Insta or whatever social media he put out his little post. Like, he had no guaranteed money coming into this year. So I understand that if you play and you get hurt, that's kind of an issue. But if you don't play, like, there's nothing coming. There's no prorated bonuses. There's no guaranteed 3 years that you still get half that. There's nothing like that. So he just walked away free and clear, too, which is kind of crazy on both sides. So I would like to see him use that dinero. I think that this is my dilemma. So Dan Freaky Campbell came out and did his whole, like, we're good. I love this schedule. Our team's raring to go. We don't need any help. And it's like, I think after something like this, your loss last year, kind of just a ho-hum, that the fan base would really love, like a hey, everybody, I know we lost Frank and we love him and he'll be in the Ring of Honor one day, but look at what we did, and go out and like get the people excited. I'm not saying it has to be Trey Henderson, but I'm saying something that would really like fire everybody up. You know, sometimes they do that stuff a little bit closer to the season, which is tactical but also more exciting. So I'm kind of hoping for that. And like I said, my aggressive approach on both sides is, if you don't have any better options, which I don't view like an old vet as a better option, as long as Jared Goff is comfortable with Tate Rat or Miles Frazier there in the middle, like, let's roll with them, figure out the guys on the other side of Penne and Decker, and let's do this thing. Let's get them up to speed. Even if we suck, not suck, but even if we have some stumbles in the first, 6 games of the year, even 8, like, as long as we don't lose too many, even there's some rough patches, like, have them fired up for the end of the year. I think it could be a blessing in disguise in the long run, and that's no shot at Frank. That's saying that, hey, this team is at a point where like a little refresher and some young blood and just a new line for the next 6 to 8 years was coming anyway. So we just moved it up a year or two. I mean, I think that could be the case when it's all said and done. So I'm actually excited about it, and I'm also saying that I wish Frank Ragnow the absolute best, and like, what a absolute DAWG, great guy, incredible football player. And if they go with the young dogs, like, yes, from day one, we're going to be a lesser than, and it will be TBD if you ask me, but I hope they play well. That's ultimately what I'm hoping for the football team. And how great would it be to win, for like a Frank Ragnow, and for the guys that played hard here that always, either didn't win or came up short. Like, that'd be fun too. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it definitely puts the revamping the offensive line, which we've talked about exclusively on this show. It escalates that for sure, because you are looking at an interior line now starter position that involves Mahogany, Glasgow, the aging vet, and Tate Rat right away. Like, those three, regardless if you put Tate Rat at center or Glasgow at center, those are your 3 starting interior offensive linemen at this point in time. So, a rookie, a second year, and a dude that's a bit long in the tooth. So, and again, then you've got the guys like, I saw something the other day, like, whoa, does Colby Sorsdale earn a spot on this roster now as the backup center? Can he really do this? Can he do that? Like, is this an opportunity for him? Like, maybe it is, but I want to win the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying we should go out and, pay, there's a couple of guys out there that are still free agents at center. That's, Tristan Colon Castillo, who from Arizona is saying his average market value $16 million. I'm not saying go pay $16 million for a guy. But if we could get somebody who's an established center, who knows what they're doing, who has played the position for more than a half a minute, I'm about it. And there's probably going to be a guy, once camps get going, once rosters start getting cut, there might be a dude that, ends up being a cap casualty. He's going to get pizzed by his own team, so he might come to Detroit on a little bit of a discount, which, if I was Brad, always open for business, Holmes. That's what I would be kind of waiting on. Let's see how camp goes. Let's get through OTAs. Let's get through preseason, and then let's wait for some of those 53-man roster cuts and see if we can snag up a guy who's 27, 26 years old, who can play that position, because Graham is one injury away from going down, and then all of a sudden, what are you doing? You're starting Miles Frazier, you're starting 2 rookies and a second-year player in that interior. It's a little scary.
Chops, this is the flagship show, but we've went nearly an hour, so we do have to close it up. A quick side tangent, I need to make sure to shout out the Tuna, who jumped into the Detroit Koolaid Cast League. Great dude, a guy that has went with my Lions tickets with his son, enjoyed a game. He's one of the guys. He's got Jamar Chase, hashtag JMO Fast, and Mike Evans. You're probably thinking, oh, look at my receivers. Tuna, you're in for a rough awakening here in the next few rounds, buddy. That team's not going to shape out that well, even though Jamar Chase is a stud. So need to get that in. Chops, I agree with your Ragnow takes. We'll end with mad respect to number 77. I hope you fish and hunt and hang with your kids and enjoy retirement. And I hope that our Lions can use the money and the abilities that you brought to this football team to add 1 or 2 or 3 pieces that can help us right now, get us over the hump, win this year, win next year, keep winning, keep replenishing that O-line, because the lifeblood is the O-line and the D-line. We'll be talking about the interiors next week on Dollars Make Sense. Oh, that's the goofy, choppy laugh. Why would you laugh like that after we talk about Dollars Make Sense? There's only one laugh to use. That's the laugh that makes SENSE, everybody. That's what we got, and we'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Super Bowl for Frank.